What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum today at the request of Alexander John and Dialogue Kayaker and Mr. DL Archer. Let's get started on this. If you guys like the video, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and yeah. So I know today probably caught a lot of people off guard. It caught me off guard. Maybe it didn't catch you off guard. Maybe you were expecting the price to go up. I don't know everybody's mind, but I definitely wasn't expecting the price to go above this high, and we did. This inverse head and shoulders pattern that everybody's probably geeking over is definitely looking like it's breaking out to the upside. But I don't know, man. I still don't think this is an inverse head and shoulders. It definitely has the right look, but that's a very extended right shoulder compared to the left shoulder. Something like this, if you were to break out of the pattern, your measure moves all the way up here. Could you see a failed breakout if this were an inverse head and shoulders? I wouldn't think that you're going to see the measure move, especially not with volume like that, right? Like that's really not impressive. You have decreasing volume. You broke out on decreasing volume. Like that's not how it works. That's not normally a good thing, but volume can be misleading at times. Could you move higher? Sure. Let's see if we can find an example of that. Nope, not really. I can't really find here. Yeah, you're breaking out. You were starting to break out here, and you had decreasing volume, right? It didn't increase until you got near the top. So it is possible. Is all I'm trying to say. The volume could come in later, and you could be moving up immediately. I don't think you are, though. I think that the price will drop. I wonder. Let's look at BTC news real quick. I'm sure I don't really keep up with the news. I just do TA, but let's see. BlackRock Bitcoin ETF inflows climb to 5th highest among. It's just more ETF stuff, right? The same old stuff. Okay, so nothing really too. Unless I'm missing something, nothing too exciting is going on. Yeah, I think this is just more of the same old. It's a bull trap, man. That's it. All we're doing right now is finding resistance at a previous area of resistance. All we're doing right now from a high to a low standpoint is touching the 618. We went higher, granted, than I expected. I was calling from this low here. I was calling for $43,500. We went to $43,800. I was very confident that was the high. It wasn't. We held support on the 382 several times, and now we're up at the 618. It's a very common maneuver on the fibs, and I overlooked it because of my own personal bias to the downside. My bad. Like I'm not going to be right all the time, and I am a human being. I always talk about checking emotions on this channel, and that doesn't mean that I'm immune to my own emotions, right? I definitely do expect the price will go lower, even with this move up, but nonetheless, I feel like my bias toward the downside, expecting the breakout, definitely ignored that we were holding support, very, very clean support on the 382. But to be fair, we were also finding resistance on the 0.5. So, there are plenty of reasons to believe it's going down. But all in all, I think this is just all one bull trap. We're going to go down, get the repercussions of that. I very much do believe very confidently that prices will go below 35K. Potentially all the way down to 31K, but the area that I'm looking for is specifically like 34.9K. That's the area that I'm looking for. On a daily basis here, still a lower high in the RSI, yes. You could go higher and then reject the overbought zone. But I do like this as a top right here, literally right at the 618. I do like that as a top. Could you go higher? Again, I have this 6.9 level brought up because I do notice more often than not that I shouldn't say more often than not, but a pretty decent amount of the time you go a little bit past your golden ratio, and that's why the 6.9 is there, because that tends to be where if you go past, that's where you go to, or somewhere in between. So I have them both as white lines, as like a little zone, if you would, like the golden retracement zone, instead of one specific level, even though technically the golden ratio is the 618. Relative areas of resistance over here, I think all we're doing is checking back, probably going to go lower, and yeah, that's it. 4 hour at an area that you've kind of been rejecting, but it is looking good. 4 hour is looking good. It could go higher. It could go higher from here. It absolutely could, but I'm not really anticipating that. I just feel like this is just one big trap, personally. That's my genuine opinion. but we'll see. Prove me wrong on that. If we get a day to close, really you'd probably need to close above here. If you can close above 46,125, that'll convince me that things are different. And that'd be really crazy. That would be way out of expectations for me. But sometimes Bitcoin does the unexpected things, man. If we look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, decent levels of greed, not too greedy, but decent levels of greed. And all we did was move up 2.9%. We went from a 62 yesterday to a 66 today. That's a pretty solid jump. I don't know. We'll see, man. Time will tell. It wouldn't surprise me if over the coming days, maybe even tomorrow, like I guess today technically, if we engulf this candle, or over like the next 3 days we engulf this candle and then break down, by the way, you're at a failed breakout. If this is an inverse head and shoulders, it's clearly slanted, right? You wouldn't measure the breakout from this point, you'd measure it from this point here. So if it were to be a failed breakout, essentially what you would want to see is prices below 43,872. So I'm bearish already, but for more or less bearish confirmation, get below 4. You don't even have to have a close. You get below 43,870. Let's call it 873. You're probably going lower. This is a false breakout. It's a fake out, and it's a failed measure move hit, which could result in a downside move. If you go above here, I wouldn't say if you get prices above here, I would say you'd have to close a daily above here. But even if you got prices above there, it'd be pretty damn exciting, that's for sure. Anywhere near there would really be pretty exciting. But that's the minimum off of this daily low close up in this area here. That's why that's there. If you don't like this, you feel like I'm being too strict with this, okay, let's put it at the daily high close there. That's not how you would measure the move on a breakout on an inverse head and shoulders, but you take the low to the high and you put it at the neckline or the shoulder line, which would be, since it's slanted, it would be up here. It'd actually be even a little bit higher, but let's put it at the daily close. 43,300. If you get below, if you want to be a little bit more lenient with the bullish side, if you're going lower, or lenient with the bearish side, however you want to say it, I would say if you're more lenient with the bulls, because if you're strict, then the bulls break that, or the bears break that, then it's down, right? It's over for the bulls. That's why I'm saying lenient for the bulls. What I'm really trying to say, guys, is if the price goes below $43,300, going lower, undeniable at that point, right? Because that's below your daily high close, and really getting a day to close below that would be more significant than just getting price to go below. But I'm under the impression that just getting price to go below 43,873 specifically, that would be enough to convince me that we're going lower, and I'm already convinced that we are. I'm fairly positive. I can be wrong, man. Sometimes whenever you're the most certain of things, you're the most sure of things. That's whenever you're wrong, right? You get set in your ways. As I've learned many times that's how that happens. I feel like I'm not doing that right now, but I could be. It's possible, but I just think we're overdue for some kind of correction. We haven't seen it yet. That's my opinion. Moved up a lot without getting checked back. We've consolidated a lot now for a little while, but we've done that for a lot longer of a time here. We did that a lot longer for a time here. I don't think this would suffice to take us above this price and up near our all-time highs. I just don't think we're ready for that yet. Volume's decreasing as we're moving up. That just, moving up like relatively even over here. But that's all I got for Bitcoin. Let's go over Ethereum. I'll be right back. I gotta go check on my dog. All right, sorry. Oh, sorry, not sorry. But here we are talking about Ethereum. Similar, very similar look actually. Kind of in a more of like a head and shoulders look for this. Not an inverse head and shoulders, but you kind of have your left shoulder. It's a very wide left shoulder, right? But I don't know. Is it like, I don't know. Still finding resistance at previous areas of resistance. It kind of looks like a bull trap. It's got that like overall hook shape. I would think that you do go lower. Probably not that low. I mean, maybe, but probably not. I do think Ethereum will drop less than Bitcoin on a percentage basis. Yeah, your 382, just below your 382, probably at the lows of this range, like genuinely speaking. From here, from your current price, which right now, as of speaking, is at about $2,420, you're probably going to drop 10%, if not maybe like 12%, something like that from the current price. So, but I do think it wants to go lower. Probably holds up better against Bitcoin. Weekly bearish divergence right here, right? It might have already played out, to be fair. You do have hidden bullish divergence as well, which also might have already played out. Daily RSI looks a little bit sad. It would make sense that before you really start getting bullish again, first off, you'd want to break out of this trend, right? And I think this trend is kind of in the midst, maybe 2/3 of the way through. You're probably going to get oversold before you see the end of this trend, and even then, you might come up, form a higher low, get a lower low in your price, get some bullish divergence, and then move on. You don't need bullish divergence to move up, though, right? Like, I guess here you did have it. That's a bad example. You definitely did have it there, but I don't know. Lower. I definitely do think it's going lower, probably around that $2,000, $2,100 area, somewhere around there. And then we could talk about you going up. I wouldn't think that you go too much higher than you are now. You are at previous areas of resistance. You are at your 0.5 area. You literally closed right at your 0.5. Maybe move up to 2,500, but I don't think so. Based on your price action here, I don't think so. Finding resistance at previous support, previous resistance, it would make sense if you turned around from here. So that's my thoughts on Ethereum. I got nothing else to say, so if you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.